I wanted to share with you guys today the top 10 things I have learned since learning I'm an HSP that I wish I had known sooner because it would have saved me so much suffering in my life. And I just want to say before I get into the 10 things that, if you feel like this might be you and you're still struggling with accepting it about yourself, I get that. It wasn't easy for me in the beginning to accept it completely. When I read Erin's book and I scored so high on her sensitivity quiz, and then I took another quiz in another community, and I was like, holy moly, I've got it all going on. And then I kind of went into another self-judgment phase, but eventually I really started to embrace it and started to love myself. The self-acceptance piece and the self-compassion piece is so huge. That's what this journey is all about as a sensitive person. To me, that's the biggest thing. Embracing it, loving it in yourself, and then creating a life that works for you. So the first thing that I learned, which was so interesting. So you probably are not surprised by the fact that I'm an extrovert. I've always been easy to talk. It's easy for me to talk. It's easy for me to be in front of people. I never got nervous about that. And so maybe people that are introverted or shy might have a greater clue that they might be a sensitive person, but I didn't really have that. It was like I had these two parts to myself. It felt like I could talk to people and be social, but then I had this deep inner world going on, this deep inner thought life. And I have learned that I love alone time. I love being by myself. And I think I must have grown up with the belief that somehow it was like, if you were by yourself, you were kind of a loner or a loser, or you didn't have anything going on in your life. And so somehow you weren't, there was something wrong with you if you liked being alone. Well, now I've completely dropped that belief and I'm actually loving being by myself. So even though I love people and I love deep connections with people, I need that time by myself to fill up. And I have learned how much I love working from home by myself, which, all those years working in an office for 30 years, I thought that was good for me. But really, when I look back on it, it was not easy because I would absorb everybody's energy that was around me. I would take in all their negativity. It was hard sometimes. And I would take the criticisms from other people really to heart. And so being by myself, I don't have to deal with all of that, right? Now, not everybody has that luxury of being able to be by themselves and work by themselves. So there's definitely ways to learn to work with people and self-care. And I can, assist you with those tips as well. But I just am kind of surprised, I guess. It's something that I probably would have worked for myself sooner if I had known that being alone and having time by myself actually feels good. And it's not a horrible experience. It's actually amazing. So that's the first thing. My second thing that I learned is how much I need a slower pace in life. I mean, working from home is wonderful in the sense that I get to create my day how it works for me. And I have learned how important it is for HSPs to get sleep and to get rest. Our brains take in so much data and so much information, and we need time to process all of that. And our brains work hard, even when we're sleeping, to process all of the information that we take in. And so we need a lot of rest, and we need a slower pace sometimes. So now I allow myself to get up when it feels good. And I take it slower in the mornings. I don't just jump out of bed and start going. That is a lot easier on my nervous system when I take things slower. And so I just wanted to say that that is something that, again, it's kind of countercultural, right? Growing up, we've been learned to go fast and go hard and be tough and get up, early and get going right away. But I've noticed that I feel so much better if I take it slow in the morning and just take a slower pace throughout my day. And then the third thing that I wish I had learned sooner was how important it is to tune into myself throughout the day, to check in with myself, to go within, to kind of listen into my heart space, not just up in my head, but really listen in here. How am I doing? What's going on with me right now? What do I need to do to take care of myself each day? I heard someone suggest that maybe every time you go to the bathroom, you do that. I mean, that's a good amount of times, right? To just check in. How am I doing? What would feel good right now? What would feel soothing and calming to me? Do I need to eat? Do I need to move my body? Do I need to process some emotions? Do I need to talk to a friend? Do I need to just have a quiet moment? What is it that would feel good right now to me? That tuning in and that checking in is so vital for us as HSPs. Because if we don't do that and we stay in our head and we keep going and going and going, we burn ourselves out, we get overstimulated, we get overwhelmed, and then we crash and burn. We get sick, we burn ourselves out. But if we're taking time each day, multiple times each day, to tune in to how we're doing, we can take care of those needs so much earlier before we get to that place of overwhelm, which happens to us as HSPs. Now, the fourth thing that I want to share, and what has been so vital for me, that I think I always knew, but I would have given myself a lot more permission to do it more often, is be in nature. Nature is so soothing to our sensitive souls. It calms our nervous system. It grounds us. It makes us feel at peace. It makes us feel whole. So I regularly spend time in nature. In the summer, it's a little tough because it's hot and I'm also sensitive to heat. So I've got to get out early. And I also like to go slow in the morning. So, I got these couple things going on, but I can surround myself with beautiful environment, even in my air-conditioned home. As you can see, I love nature scenes. I love greenery. I have a beautiful patio with flowers that I look out on. So surrounding myself with that greenery and those flowers and keeping the windows open so I can see the trees in the sky. So important. And I was reflecting on this because in my last job that I was in at the university, I was there for 9 years, and I had this office that had a big window that looked out on this beautiful tree. And there would be wildlife out there, like squirrels and birds and all kinds of stuff going on out there. And I felt like I'm telling you, that saved me. That window and that tree saved me all those years because I felt like I had this connection to something that would ground me throughout the day when things got so busy at work. So whenever you can, if you're working full time and you are in an office, you've got to get out. You've got to see nature. Just be quiet, listen to the birds, see the hawks fly, see the sky. It is really soothing for our souls. Okay, the fifth thing I wish I had learned. This would have helped me a lot. So I've always had this complex inner life. I process things deeply. I'm always working through something. And I used to judge myself for it. I used to think there was something wrong with me. Like, how come I'm always like dealing with something? And now I know that's part of being a highly sensitive person. We just have this, we process things deeply. We process emotions deeply. We think about things. I mean, it is part of being a sensitive person. And I used to kind of fight that experience or judge myself. And now I just allow it to be. And I know that I probably need time each day to process what's going on in me. That usually means I need some quiet time to journal, to just let myself feel, to let myself calm down. Sometimes I process with a friend, but a lot of times it's by myself. And just knowing that I need to process my emotions every day and I need to process my thoughts, I think allowing myself to do it and knowing that it's just part of what I need to do each day and not judge it makes it actually easier. It makes the time that I do it maybe less. I can move through it quicker. So that is something I wish I knew before. Wish I didn't judge myself. Wish I just let it be. Thank goodness. Okay, the sixth thing, even though I'm an extroverted person and about 30% of HSPs are extroverted, 70% are introverted. So again, I think that's part of why it took me a while to figure out I was an HSP, because I didn't fit the typical, introverted, shy person. But even though I like being around people, I like the deep connections that introverts like. And I always wanted to go deep in my conversations with people. And I would get kind of frustrated when people wanted to just talk small talk and superficial. And then I would feel kind of lonely because I could never go deep with those people. And I'd feel kind of like, what's wrong with me? And I want to go deep, but other people don't want to. And so I felt alone until I started to really allow for the space to have friendships in my life where people wanted that same thing as me. And I've nurtured those over my life. Some have been in my life for like over 30 years. Some are more in the last 5 to 10 years. But I have nurtured the relationships where we both want that same thing, where we both want time to be able to process emotions with each other, process what's going on, and that's a value that we have. And that's so satisfying and so rich for me. So I just love my friends. They're amazing. And so time with friends that love me and accept me for who I am and support me and are like me, not exactly like me, but kind of want to do that same kind of talk, that deep conversation, that really serves me. Okay, my seventh thing that I wish I had known earlier in my life was how critical it is to have a creative outlet. I've always been creative. I've done a lot of performing, singing, dancing. I always loved crafts and painting and card making, scrapbooking, crocheting, all those things. But now I know that it's actually like a need. It's something that I've got to have in my life. If I don't do it on a regular basis, I just don't feel quite right. It's like really important to have a creative outlet. There's something about it that's just like calming and soothing and fulfilling. So I would highly recommend that. If you know that about yourself, just pull out that thing, like make time for it. Make time for that thing that gives you that creative outlet. It does. It's almost like something I can't put into words. When we get to be creative, what that does for our psyche, what that does for our whole body, what that does for our health. There's probably some research done on it. I don't know what it is, but I just know that it is important. Okay. The eighth thing that I wish I had known when I was younger was how overwhelming certain environments, how overstimulating certain environments are for me. I think I just didn't pay attention because I wanted to be with people and I wanted to do the things other people did, like go to concerts, go to parties, go to a bar or dance place or, whatever, restaurants, just going out to eat can be really overstimulating. The music's loud, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of lights, a lot's going on, or concerts. Oh my gosh, all the people. And yet I love all that stuff, right? I love connecting with people. I love the music. So how do I deal with all of that, right? Well, I've started to make some adjustments that have really, really assisted me. So I'm really careful about what restaurants I go to now. Can't always pick, right? You're with another group of people, but what I've started to do is like pay attention to, where is the noise the least in the restaurant? Can I sit outside? Is that better? I have even asked them to turn down the music sometimes, and they will, or maybe just go to another restaurant. That's one thing I've done. For concerts, we love going to the Hollywood Bowl. We live in Southern California. The Hollywood Bowl is so great. They have such great musicians there, but the experience is overwhelming. It takes us a long time to get there. There's a picnic before. It's like a whole day event. And we are doing like 3 concerts there this summer. We've already done 2. So I've been putting in place these new strategies. We sit in the back row of one particular section so that there's nobody behind us talking and irritating me when I'm trying to listen to the concert. I rest the day of and I rest the day after. I don't plan a lot of other things. I bring earplugs all the time I always have them in my purse. So if I need to shut out the sound, like, on our way there, on our way back, or when we're leaving or whatever, I can do that. Those are some of the things that have helped me with overstimulation. And I just wish I had known that sooner, because I think I would have not burnt myself out so much going to do things like that. And sometimes you just can't, you just need to say no. But kind of advanced planning has been really helpful for me, like canceling appointments the day after, so that I can recuperate. That's really been helpful. Okay, the 9th thing that I wish I would have learned sooner was how important it is to tell people that I'm a sensitive person and to communicate with them. I felt shame about it, so that was a huge barrier. I also, as an HSP, want everyone to like me and don't want to put anybody out, so I never want to make waves or feel like I'm so high maintenance or all that. But what I've learned is that if I just ignore my warning signs of things that are in my environment that aren't working for me, and I'm around other people and I don't take care of myself in that situation, and I don't say, I am not bringing my best self to that situation with those people. I'm not bringing my best self. And so in order to bring my best self and not get to that overwhelmed point where I blow up, I have started to say things like, I need a little space. I need some time alone. This is not about you. This is just about me, and I need to do this. I need some quiet time so that I can bring my best self to our interaction, to our relationship. I feel like communication about this is really a growing edge, right? To do it in a way that honors ourselves but doesn't blame them, right? The other people that aren't being affected by what you're being affected by. Again, self-love and self-compassion kind of comes into all of this. If we don't have that, then we're not going to be doing the self-care that we need to. Okay, the final thing I wish I would have known sooner is how many positive things there are about being a sensitive person. All the beauty, all the love, all the compassion, all the insight, all the wisdom, the truth, the love, I probably said that already, that we're bringing to the world, the creativity. It's easy to focus on all the things that are challenging as a sensitive person, but there's so many positives. I was such a great employee. I was always so conscientious and detailed and loyal. That was part of my sensitive traits. And now, working on my own and being a coach, it's what makes me a good coach, because I can really tune in and listen to another person. My intuition is guiding me with every question that I need to ask. I can feel into what's the truth going on in that person. I'm able to get to the root of the issue with them so much faster than maybe other people would, because I have this gift of being able to see and sense and know the truth about something. That is a gift that not everybody has. And my clients feel heard, and they feel loved, and they feel accepted, and they feel my compassion. So being a sensitive person is like the secret sauce to what makes me a good coach. And my clients have profound shifts. They have profound shifts in a short period of time, I think, and that's because of my sensitive gifts. So I just want to invite you to check out what I do. I'm going to put the link to my website here so that you can check out a little bit more about what I do as a coach, the process that I take people through. And you can see as you read my website how my sensitive gifts are really what create the transformation and healing for my clients. Anyway, I've shared 10 things, probably more than 10, but I guess I just want to finish by saying, if I had known earlier and accepted and loved myself as a sensitive person younger, I would have saved so much energy. I mean, you think about the judgment energy that I had towards myself. I mean, man, that just could have taken years off my life right there, just as far as the amount of energy I would have saved. And if I had just kind of let go of society's expectations of me and tuned into more of who I was, what I wanted, what worked for me, I know I would have been a lot more fulfilled. I would have been a lot more joyful. I would have been a lot more at peace. And that is why I want to share this with this group. And that's the purpose of this group, finding fulfillment for sensitive souls. A huge part of that finding fulfillment within as sensitive souls is loving and embracing who we are. Because as we do that and we allow ourselves to be who we are, we create a life that is peaceful and fulfilling, that feels good and that works for us. And if you would like support with that, if you would like support with more fulfillment, if you would like support with your sensitivity, I invite you to check out my website. And there's a link on my website to book a call with me. We can have a connection call. It's free. It's a 30-minute call just to explore where you're at. And I'd love to support you with your sensitivity and see if we can come up with a plan to support you going forward to have a more fulfilling, peaceful life as a sensitive soul. I'd love to do that. So that's all I got for today. I'm sending you all so much love, and I am going to be live again probably next week. So I'll see you then. Okay, bye.